Hi, and welcome to Tea with the Fertility Godmother. I am starting a little bit early today because I am actually going to have a meeting with another doctor this afternoon. So I wanted to give you part 2 of our preconception series. Last time we talked about how important it is to have a regular menstrual cycle. It's really important to be able to ovulate on time every month consistently, and if that's not happening for you, then it's important that you get that corrected. The other thing is to make sure that your partner, your husband, has good quality sperm so that they're really healthy, so that everything can work nicely. We're going to talk about some foods that you should eat, some foods that you should avoid, and some of my favorite vitamins and supplements that you should take while you're doing preconception care. So preconception care again is getting your body as healthy as possible before you actually conceive, and it takes usually about at least 3 months, maybe even up to 6 months before your body would be healthy enough to have a baby. So it's really important to be really mindful if you're planning to have a baby and get your body, and when I say your body, I mean both partners, as healthy as possible before you actually try to conceive. Hey, Linda. So some things that you want to eat some foods that you want to eat that are really important is you want to have some really high quality proteins. I love grass-fed beef or pasture-raised chicken. It's really important though to have organic grass-fed protein, because you don't want to get the antibiotics or the chemicals from the byproducts that the animals eat. So you want to get as close to nature as possible. You want to think about that every time you're eating. And the other thing is to balance the meat with a lot of vegetables. So it doesn't necessarily have to be greens. I really like to see a rainbow on your plate, but greens are really important. Green vegetables are really important. So you want to get some really good quality protein and then vegetables. Now there's we have a list. Maybe Haley can post it later on. She's on vacation right now, but she's going to post for us later. But maybe we have a list of the vegetables that are most important to buy organic, because I know they do cost more money, but it's so important to buy organic whenever you can. But certain foods like bananas don't necessarily have to be organic, because they have a nice thick skin on them, so it protects the actual fruit that you eat. So she can post that list, and you can check out the certain foods that you do need to buy. I think it's called the Dirty Dozen that you want to avoid buying. Okay. So other things are vegetables, organic. You want to have fish, good quality fish. So certain fish are better than others. So salmon, particularly wild salmon or responsibly farmed salmon, is good. Trout is really good. Halibut is safe. Those are the fishes that tend to be most popular. Some of the cods are good. You just have to be careful about the cods. Rockfish is delicious and really easy to cook, and it's really healthy for you. So those fishes are really important to get that special fat, the omega-3 and 9 fat, 6 and 9 fat, so that it nourishes all your cells and your body. So eating healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil or avocado oil, those are all really important fats for your body. Again, having some grass-fed beef or again healthy fish, it's important to have enough fat so that you can nourish your cells, so that your cells are actually, there's a fat layer around every cell, and that the more healthy it is, the more the nutrients can actually get in, because it's a little bit more pliable, if you will, so the nutrients can get in, versus if it doesn't have enough fat, it's going to be more rigid, so it's going to block the nutrition. So actually the more healthier fats you have, the more energy you're going to be able to nourish your cells and have more energy, which is going to help you not only be healthier, but help you conceive. So those are really important, especially for men. Nuts and seeds, and particularly Brazil nuts, they have a lot of zinc in them. Those are going to be really helpful. Vitamin C, having foods that have a lot of vitamin C in them, oranges, those are going to be really helpful for you. Some foods that you want to avoid Hi Zahava, avoiding too much spicy food when you're trying to conceive. So some people really like spicy food, so it's fine to have in moderation, but really be mindful of how much spicy food you're consuming when you're trying to get pregnant, because it can just be too much. It speeds things up. You want to avoid the deep sea fish, so too much tuna or swordfish or mackerel or sharks. Those are some of the fishes that you want to avoid eating too much of, because of the mercury content, which is going to counteract your wellness as you're trying to get pregnant. Okay, so again, the fish is very good for you. You just have to be mindful of which fish you're choosing. And that it goes along with sushi. So if you're eating sushi in a reputable place and you're having it periodically while you're trying to conceive, it's probably fine. But you do have to be careful, and you want to watch out for the tuna, and there's a lot of tuna with sushi. So some other tricks you can do would be focus more on the salmon or the shellfish if you eat shellfish, or some cooked sushi, so you don't feel like you're missing out too much too soon. Too much dairy can be an issue. So dairy tends to be inflammatory. Some people can tolerate dairy, no problem. A lot of people shouldn't have any dairy. So you need to figure out where is your perfect balance of dairy. And that's really important, because dairy is inflammatory, dairy is sticky. You know, when you have a cold and you have some milk and you get all congested, right? It gets more mucousy. So that happens in your whole system. So having too much dairy is not always the best option. So be really mindful of that. The other thing with dairy is, if you are going to have dairy, you want to have whole fat dairy. Okay, not the non-fat. You need the fat in the dairy for many reasons, but one in particular is to balance out the sugars in dairy. So there are all sugars in dairy. So you want to, and also it keeps the more nutrition in it. So you want to get that whole fat if you are going to have dairy. So whole fat yogurt. And I'm so excited that they're starting to create more whole fat yogurt now, because you could only used to be able to find like non-fat yogurt. So they're starting to create more companies are doing that. So there's more options for you. Sugar is, in my opinion, the enemy of all diseases, so including infertility. That doesn't mean you can never have sugar, but just be really mindful of it. How much sugar are you having a day? So you want to try to keep foods like that have less than 5 grams of sugar in them. So dark chocolate would be okay, but having jelly beans would not be really good. So again, once in a while, it's not going to be a big deal, but you have to be clear what is once in a while. So in my opinion, once in a while would be maybe 1 serving a week, but you have to find your balance and know where you're at, and where you're at in your health, and what's going on with your diet, and are you balancing out with other nutrition. So it's really important. You kind of like ebb and flow, if you will, with your foods. Processed food. You want to avoid all processed food whenever possible, because of you lose the nutrition in there. There's chemicals filled with processed food, especially a lot of toxins that get into your food from the phthalates and the BPAs. And we have a whole program on making sure you're eating clean and the environment. And in fact, one of the things that I find really most helpful for couples is when they do our fertility cleanse, our gentle fertility cleanse, because it really educates you on all the things that you should eat, that you should avoid, that you need to be mindful of, so you really have a clear picture of what's going on. So doing a fertility cleanse is one of the first steps that we do when I work with people here. It's so important to get some of those toxins out, because those from the environment and the foods that we eat, there's this toxic load, and it's important to do a cleanse once or twice a year. Some supplements. Let's talk about supplements real quick. You definitely want to be on your basic supplements. So you want to be on a high quality prenatal vitamin, and only a prenatal. You don't need to be on a prenatal and a multivitamin. I don't know why, but I see a lot of women who come in taking both. They think they need to take both. You do not need to take both. be on a high quality prenatal vitamin. And then you also want to be on a high quality fish oil. And the reason you want to be on a high quality fish oil is, again, you want to get really good oils. You want to make sure that they're low in mercury. So some good fish oils come from anchovies or sardines. Those are going to be some of the low mercury. So look at the ingredients. Make sure it doesn't have a lot of fillers. Make sure that it has, like, it's certified, and that you're getting a good quality fish oil. I'm here in California, and even though it's really sunny, most of the people here are deficient in vitamin D. So we like to check the vitamin D levels and figure out how much extra vitamin D you should be taking. There's usually a good amount in the fish oil, but if you're low in vitamin D, that can be impacting your chances of getting pregnant, and that goes for both men and women. So you probably want to check your vitamin D if you haven't, and then that way you can figure out how much vitamin D you should be taking to get it into the optimal ranges to help you, not only, again, your health, which vitamin D impacts your fertility, it impacts your bones, it impacts your mood, it impacts your immune system. So you really want to have good levels of vitamin D. So those are some of the basics, and I also liked, one of my other favorites is magnesium. So magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate are my two favorite forms of magnesium, and the reason is it just really helps with the liver so that it can process all the hormones so that you are able to conceive. Magnesium does so many things. It helps you stay calm, it helps you sleep, it helps you go to the bathroom, and it does like 300 functions in our body. So having a little bit extra magnesium is really helpful for you. Particularly if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, some supplements that would be helpful would be Myo-Inositol and D-Chiro, and you want to take them both. There's a particular ratio, it's a 2-to-1 ratio of the Myo-Inositol and the D-Chiro, and that's actually going to help regulate your blood sugars, your insulin resistance if you have PCOS, and it'll help your periods become more regular. So that's a really amazing supplement, along with L.Ac or N-acetylcysteine, because N-acetylcysteine helps your body detoxify. We were talking about earlier how important it is to detoxify because there's this buildup. So your body needs to be able to detoxify. So N.Ac acts as a natural detoxifier, and it's a wonderful antioxidant. So it's really good for PCOS women who have PCOS. And then some of my two favorite supplements for improving egg quality are Resveratrol. It's a really potent antioxidant, and then the coenzyme Q10. There's so many out there, and if you're wondering which ones are going to be best for you, then you may want to consider doing a consultation with me so I can help you more specifically. I'd love to help you. So you're welcome to talk to me, and we can set something up so I can help you specifically. But these are some of my favorite ones. One more I want to give you that I love is royal jelly. Royal jelly is a great antioxidant. It's the food that the queen bee eats, and the queen bee makes lots of eggs, so it's really good to nourish your eggs. It's something particular in Chinese medicine that we love to give, so that's a really good antioxidant. Again, you want to get a good quality of the royal jelly, and that's really important for you. So again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment, and I'll definitely answer your questions. And go ahead and share this video so we can help educate lots of other couples that are trying to conceive and have healthy babies, because we really want to have healthy babies and help people get pregnant. Okay, so please share this video. For men, some supplements, particular for men, are vitamin C and zinc. Those are the easiest and some of the most potent for healthy, optimal sperm. Vitamin C you can get in food. You can take a chewable vitamin C. Zinc you can also get in food, like the Brazil nuts I mentioned are very helpful for you, or you can take extra zinc. The other two that are really good are L-Arginine and L-Carnitine, and those are amino acids, and they work really well to help with sperm motility, because you need to have those guys swimming fast so they can get up there. Otherwise it's going to impact their chances of conceiving. So I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. So please give us a thumbs up and share this video so we can help you. We'll see you next week for part 3 of preconception care. And check out below if you're interested in finding out more about our fertility cleanse, or if there's any way that I can help you. figure out which supplements are going to be best for you, because there are so many out there, but I mentioned some of my tops. So make it a great week, and here's to your fertility. We'll see you next week. Bye.